So now we move on to direct and manage project execution for the next couple of slides. Lots of things happen in direct and manage project execution. I mean, as the project manager, this is where you're supervising the work that's getting done. This is where the thing gets created. So there's lots of stuff that goes into it. Now let's take a look at some of the things that are involved in this. Performing the activities to accomplish the project requirements. What does the thing have to do when you get there? That's what the requirements of a project are. You're creating a product or service. That product, in my mind, I mostly think of this in terms of when you're creating a new information system, that new information system is going to have required features and functionality. So the requirements are that the system does whatever you ask them to do in the beginning. Creating the project deliverables. Well, the ultimate deliverable from a systems development project is the system itself. That's the ultimate project deliverable. But there are all sorts of other deliverables too. If you're following a methodology that takes the project and breaks it up into different phases, there are going to be deliverables at the end of each and every one of those phases. For instance, at the end of the planning phase, a very logical deliverable would be the project management plan itself. Perhaps at the end of another phase, the deliverable might be a working prototype of some particular piece of the system. So you can have deliverables, you can have deliverables even at the process level. If we go back and just think about develop project charter, well, the deliverable that is the outcome of that process is the charter itself. So you can have deliverables at all different levels, but certainly the biggest and most important one is the deliverable of the product or service or result that you engaged in the project to begin with. Other things that you do just as part of directing and managing project execution, yeah, the third point really speaks to your human resource management, which we'll speak to in a later knowledge area. The fourth really speaks to a lot of the things you deal with in procurement management, which we'll get to. Implementing plan methods and standards. Anything standards you set that you think you need to agree to perform to. Establishing and managing project communication channels. That speaks to communication management, which we'll talk about in a later lecture. Again, we talk about all these processes independently of one another, but I cannot emphasize enough how integrated and interrelated they all actually are.